Welcome back to more Mario Party 4. Last time, we went over Party Mode, and started going through the options in Minigame mode. This time, we have a few more minigames that didn't come up in the main playthrough, so we'll be going through those. To start out, we'll be trying out Team Play, partner up and play as a team. How many people are playing in this party? Select the characters that will be joining in the party. Now pick a partner. So yeah, this is just a mode where you can play the two-player minigames. I'm really not sure why this is a separate mode from free play, which we'll be seeing next. But we have two-player minigames that we didn't see, so we might as well show them off here. The first is Order Up. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of either of the remaining minigames here, so I'm actually kinda glad they never came up in story mode. In Order Up, we have this little food carousel. All of the items get covered up and spun around, and we have to basically figure out where they are. That is easier said than done, but the AI, I chose a hard difficulty AI from my team member to make these a little bit easier, because I'm actually not great at the last two-player minigames, or 2 versus 2 minigames. It's a very, it's a minigame that works better with human players, because half of the... You could have one person memorize half, the other person memorize the other half, and divide and conquer. With AI, you kind of have to memorize everything or get really lucky. And our final 2v2 minigame is Cheap Cheap Sweep. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of this one either. This is actually one of the last minigames I ever played in this game, because this is definitely not in the easy list, and I actually used the easy minigame set for a long time. So, if we hold A, we can kind of sweep this net in a circle around us. We can't move like this, though. And we have to catch the most Cheep Cheeps. There are 25 points worth of Cheep Cheeps here. Gold ones are worth 2 points, red ones are worth 1 point. It ends up being an even or an odd number breakdown, so, like, if one team gets 13, it's automatically over, essentially. Speaking of getting 13, it's already over. This is why I chose the hard difficulty AI. Also, B releases the fish into your respective zone, and as soon as you catch all the fish, it automatically ends. I'm the best. Alright, so that takes care of the last 2v2 minigames. So let's move over to free play. Play any one you want. The remaining minigames are all story-based, or Bowser Space minigames. So let's start with Darts of Doom. Wahaha, welcome! Well, this time the Bowser game is... Darts of Doom! Want to hear the rules? Alright, listen up, weaklings. I'm gonna explain the rules of this game. So no snoozing. Throw 3 darts at once and try to get a lot of points. A lot of points. But the board will be spinning, so it won't be easy. Round and round she goes. The 3 cursors show where the darts will hit, so pay attention. 3 cursors? Watch the cursor's movement and press A to throw. A, that's the green one. The sum of the 3 areas your darts hit is your total score, if you can get any. The player with the least points gets a back rub. No, they get roasted. Like chestnuts on an open fire. So here we go. If you make them play here, they'll hit me. Yikes, that's kinda smart. Oh, one more thing. If you get a bullseye, you're toast. So the cursors move around very erratically, and you just have to kind of not hit the center for one thing, and then just kind of hope for the best. Otherwise, if you land a bullseye, you immediately lose. If you land anywhere else, you might not get enough points to make it. That's not great for us because we have to not be last. Typically, these come up if you land on a Bowser space instead of Koopa Kid. Occasionally, Bowser himself will show up, and can do a variety of different effects, like Bowser Revolution to equalize everyone's coins, give you a Bowser suit that allows you to steal coins from other players, and, of course, initiate a Bowser minigame to make everyone lose their coins or items and things like that. We have a loser! On an open fire. He shoots, he scorches. Next up is Fruits of Doom. Wahaha, welcome! This time the Bowser game is... Fruits of Doom. Want to hear the rules? Alright, listen up, weaklings. I'm gonna explain the rules of this game, so no snoozing. Master Bowser will say which fruits he wants to eat. He's very particular. Then you guys must find the right fruit and bring it to him. And don't mess up. Stand in front of the fruit and press A to grab it. Yeah, press A, you simpletons. If you bring a fruit that Master Bowser didn't ask for, if you bring him more than the number he asked for, I love this part, then things might get a wee bit warmer for you. Yeah, like a London broil. Now, let's get started. I'm so very hungry. You, weaklings, bring fruit to satiate the mighty Koopa King. What refreshing flavor do I long for? Now bring them quickly. So obviously the gimmick is you can't actually read the full list unless you are in a situation where you can actually like slow down the footage, which I can since I'm recording this, but it doesn't help me right now in the moment of actually trying to figure out what he wants. Yeah, if you give him the wrong thing or more than what he wants, so like if he only wanted one apple and someone gives him another apple, they lose. This is almost kind of like Bowser's Bigger Blast, but with extra steps. It's not entirely luck-based, there is a memorization component to some of it, but it's still mostly luck because you really can't read most of the list. This one's actually pretty fun though, I actually kind of like this minigame. It's a shame that these never came up in the main story mode run. Whenever anyone landed on a Bowser space, which wasn't even that often, it was always a just Koopa Kid appearance where he stole coins. if I remember right. But even then, I don't think that even happened very often. My memory is kind of a blur, though, to be fair, because of trying to record or trying to unlock all of the story mode items. So I'm actually getting a couple things mixed up. Like, I actually didn't entirely remember that I'd actually not played The Great Deflate in the actual Let's Play until I actually cross-referenced using the minigame lists in free play. There is also a dedicated minigame list beyond that as well, which I'll talk about later after we get through all the Bowser games. There's only 2 more minigames that we haven't actually seen. And overall, these are fun, and I do wish that we had actually seen them in context when we would have had a situation where we could hypothetically lose like half our coins or all of our coins because of this. Get rid of this. And finally, we have Balloon of Doom. Gwahaha, welcome! Well, this time the Bowser game is Balloon of Doom. Want to hear the rules? Alright, listen up, weaklings. I'm gonna explain the rules of this game, so no snoozing. Blow up Master Bowser's balloon real big like. Yeah, raise the roof. Just ground pound on this pump over here to inflate the balloon. Whoop. Press A to jump, and press A again in the air to ground pound. Jump and press A. The higher you jump, the more air gets pumped into the balloon. More air means more Bowser. So if you overinflate the balloon or don't pump at all, oh I know, you roast. Like marshmallows at a campfire. So get pumping. My face is gonna be huge. I was just thinking that the mention of a London broil in the previous minigame implies the existence of London in the Mario universe, but then Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games happened. Also, I guess Mario's Time Machine, or was it Mario's Time Machine, or am I thinking Mario is Missing? One was an educational game where you could go to like historical locations, so he technically would have been in London. So yeah, this is an interesting minigame. At some point, the characters will kind of take cover. At that point, that's kind of your tell to not try to make smaller jumps, because it is proportional to how high you are in the air when you actually ground pound. Whoever pops the balloon loses, and I'm not feeling overly confident right now, so we'll have to see how this goes. But yeah, as soon as the characters start kind of being overly... when they start being concerned about, like, the balloon potentially popping, which we'll probably see about now. Nope, not yet, actually. I'm actually a little bit surprised. Normally it would be at that phase by now, but the AI is making very small jumps. So maybe I shouldn't be overly surprised. Definitely now, I think, at least. Yeah, see, they're kind of taking cover already. The Koopa kids are hiding behind the pillars. Small jump. I did not have as small of a jump as I would have liked, and I'm very grateful that that still wasn't enough. What were you thinking? And our final minigame is Panels of Doom. Alright, so this is one of the other minigames along with Bowser Wrestling, where if you run into Bowser with a Mega Mushroom, you can basically challenge him. Also, if you defeat Bowser in the duel, he'll go away until the star changes position in Gnarly Party. So basically, you want to roll the space of your opponent to send them into the abyss. It's actually a very stressful minigame. There's actually a variant of this that we'll see later. It's actually really fun. That's unlocked by seeing the regular version in story mode by confronting Bowser. These actually are difficult to unlock because there's a bit of luck behind actually unlocking these. What I mean by that is for Bowser minigames and the Mega Mushroom Bowser minigames, you basically have to land on the Bowser space in this case, get Bowser to show up, and initiate a Bowser game, and then actually have a 1 in 3 shot of getting the minigame that you haven't played. So yeah, these are some of the last minigames I unlocked. This one also was difficult to unlock because of actually confronting Bowser and not getting Bowser wrestling. Finally, we have a few more options here. List, look at the minigames you've won. I don't know why this exists. It's a list of minigames, except you don't play them. Since there's a minigame list that looks virtually identical that lets you actually play through these, I don't know why this is a separate option. There's custom, mix and match 'em. Mix them and match them in a custom list. This lets you basically make your own minigame compilations. So for example, if you like a minigame, you can basically select it and it'll show up whenever you meet certain criteria for each minigame. You have to select a certain amount of each minigame. Obviously, since like there's a rotation of 3 for the 1v3 and 2v2s, you actually have to have 3 minigames selected to have this work. But if there's a minigame you really like, and there's some that you really don't like, you can definitely exclude some, which is definitely a nice option I might have to look into for my final story mode playthrough. Choose more games for the custom pack. 4 PE, 4 left, 1 versus 3, 3 left, 2 versus 2, 3 left, battle, 2 left. Those are the basic requirements for each category. Continue custom. And finally, we have records. See who's who in minigames. This is just the high scores for all the minigames that have records. So Mario Medley Domination, Right or Left, Dungeon Duos, Mario Speedwagons, and Take a Breather. I have actually gotten all of the scores necessary to unlock everything in the present room, which are 1 minute, 100 dominoes, 45 seconds, minute 30, 10 seconds, and 7 seconds in that order. Yeah, it's nice to have a reference for high scores. And that actually takes care of minigame mode. Leave the party cube. With that taken care of, our next stop is the extra room. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Mario Party 4.